I think the ultimate definition of torture will be rendered in the courts.
There is an expectation articulated among some of the people that Jane interviews that there will be repercussions, that they will be held to account for this. And yet today you've got John Ashcroft testifying on the Hill, once again asserting that waterboarding works. For the record, your response. And secondly, what will be the repercussions for this behavior by these people?
I think they're still very worried. I don't think the lower guys necessarily, although they were the fall guys in Abu Ghraib and some other guys, but the upper guys are nervous about it. The CIA was particularly nervous after Geneva was applied to them. As to the waterboarding issue, I mean, I think Jane she knows that particular case where they claim they got something from Khalid Sheikh Mohammed on that. But obviously under waterboarding, people under torture oftentimes tell whatever is necessary to stop the torture and whatever their interrogator wants to hear. That's just an obvious, in terms of utilitarian, that's obvious. That it's torture is also obvious.
Jane, were you surprised to know that John Ashcroft is out there today saying it works and using the Khalid Sheikh Mohammed case?
Well, I mean, it's not surprising because this is what they've been saying all along. So, I mean, he's holding to the line, and really, what's the choice? To say that we did these things to people for no reason at all would be even more disgraceful, I suppose. But does it work? Okay, there's sort of two parts of what that means. Does it work tactically? Do they get the information that they want? I think that if you talk to experts, they'll tell you torture sometimes does work. Sometimes you get information. If it didn't, we wouldn't be talking about this probably. But does it always work in terms of the information? No. Often you get misinformation. What happened in the case of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? The best information they got was before he was tortured, and it was gotten by the FBI. And that you can go back through the records and see that this is true. When they did get information from him, they got some information that was useful, and they got some that set them out on such a wild goose chase, and that was so false that when he finally talked to the ICRC investigators, he was boasting about setting America up on, putting it up on a higher alert for with fabricated information. And it got to the point where inside the CIA, at the same time that George Tenet, the director, was saying it works, inside the CIA, they put on top of the cables with KSM's confessions a warning label that said he's been known to fabricate.